Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I am so pleased to be back at RF Orchids here in South Florida. RF Orchids is one of my favorite orchid growers. They're in Homestead, Florida, and it is late July, 91 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is 32 degrees Celsius. Heat index, it is hot. And I'm sorry about the background noise, but it's a little loud here because I wanted to start out in the area where there are lots of fans because this is the coolest place. Some of the other areas, there aren't fans, and so it can just really get warm here. I don't know if you can hear behind me, but this is a great place, and Bob has, you've got to be able to hear that. So Bob has parrots on the ground, and so there's a parrot back there that wants to be heard and recognized. You got to be able to hear that. Anyway, I visited the parrots up close. The dogs are that way. There's a couple of parrots. This is just a really incredible place. He has a pet gator. We're not going to go see that. And anyway, a lot going on here. This is one of my favorite places to visit and to go to. And I was here today because Bob and Mike wanted to see some of the flasks that I've been generating in the laboratory with some of my Cattleya hybrids. And I'm happy to share that in a few years you'll be able to see some of my hybrids maybe here, depending on how they do. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've also picked up quite a few orchids, mostly Cattleyas. I picked up one den. They're known for their Vandas, but they also have a great collection of Cattleyas, and we'll take a look at some of those in a little bit, and as we get out and move around a little bit. The main thing is when you go through here, there's not a whole lot of things blooming, and that was one of the things that Mike told me last time that I was here, that what they would be looking for is orchids that would be really blooming in the summertime. So that's what I'm trying to do, is use some of the ever-blooming orchids in my breeding and in my crosses. But what I want to show you a few things where I'm standing right here. This is over here. This is Why Not, all up and down the row. And these are pretty small plants, and this is a yellow Why Not. So this is a nice, a nice plant, and that it's interesting. The yellow is a little bit more uncommon, but that's mostly what they have here is the yellow Why Nots. But they're all up and down the row here. So they're becoming a little more common, and they're going to become even more common because one of my colleagues gave me a seed capsule that's a self from the yellow Why Not. So, and I looked, and there were a lot of embryos in there, so I'm going to be making a lot more of these. They don't need them at RF Orchids. They have plenty of them. One of the other things that I want to share with you is this really cool looking Dendrobium. This is really small. This is Dendrobium Noporn Starbright. The cultivar is Shazam, which is C-H-I-Z-A-M. This is it's a small plant, so it only has one bloom on it, but really an interesting bloom. And I actually picked one of these up because I want to see what it grows into. One of the other things that, when I come here, I really like coming here because, again, Mike tells me what type of stuff it would be nice to have that they'll look for. And he also mentioned, in addition to the certain types of cats that he was mentioning, he also mentioned that they're interested in dendrobiums that are a little bit more compact, maybe with antelope. And right now all the antelopes that I have are huge, and most of the dendrobiums that I have are huge as well. But I kind of know what to look for and what to breed for, and so I picked up one of these because it seems to bloom when it's really small. And again, You can see back there, there's a lot of these plants back there. All right, so what I want to do now, I just wanted to show you those two plants. Everything is spread out everywhere. This is a great place. So what I want to do is get behind the camera, and I'll show you some of the plants that are in here in this house. And this is mostly it looks like it's Cattleyas and Dendrobiums. And again, not much blooming, so we'll just kind of take an overview. But then we'll take a look at the Vanda House, and there's a lot blooming back there. And then my favorite place which is the Vanda seedling table. And I've bought Vanda seedlings from RF Orchids before, and they're doing well. They're on the tree. I should mention that the reason that I love coming here is because these guys, I mean, I shouldn't even have to say it, but these guys know how to grow orchids so well. It's incredible. When I come here, I look for the kind of potting mix that they use. I look for how they treat their plants. But there's RF Orchids is one of the places that I've gone to where I come here repeatedly, and all of the plants that I've purchased, and I have purchased quite a few plants from these guys. I purchased a lot more today. All of the plants that I purchased are still alive. I don't think I'm getting better at it, maybe a little bit better, but the plants are really in good shape. They're in a great potting mix. I've repotted some of them, but some of these plants I've had sitting in the pots that I bought them in for like 2 years, and they're still growing well, and they're flowering, and they're doing quite well. So these guys really know what they're doing. Okay, so that's all I have. I just want to again kind of look around, show you what's here, take a tour of the place. And I think once we get, again, the fans are loud here, the parrot is loud here, so once we get out of this area, it'll calm down a little bit and there'll be a little bit less background noise. So let me get behind the camera and show you around this place. Again, this RF Orchids in Homestead, Florida, a great place to visit. Okay, and we're back. I want to show you around a little bit of this stuff in this house. The first thing, just so you know, and I stopped at this because this is one of my favorite dens. This is Dendrobium. I think the parrot in this place likes to be part of the conversation, and I think I'm closer to it now. Anyway, this is Wulang, Dendrobium Wulang, and I love this den because, well, it's big. It's here, there's a flower actually. There's a few plants flowering. It blooms all the time, and one of the other reasons I like it is because it's fragrant. These plants are mostly pretty small, but as you can tell, he's got quite a few of them. These are mostly mostly dens here. Some of these dens are pretty big, and it's really kind of interesting as you go and look through here and see what kind of plants they have. All right, so looking at, now we're into, as we move down here, let's before we go, there's some more dens, final dens that I want to show you. So these are, and there's not too many of them blooming, but there are some really interesting color on these guys. Again, but not, you look at the overall, so all the plants on this bench look like they're the same Dendrobium, and not a whole lot of blooms going on here. As we move around though, you can see these are all Cattleyas along this final wall, and again, not much blooming. And when you go down, what you have to do is look at the pictures right up here. And I should mention the price of these, $45, $50. You can often come here, and I think you need to come here. They offer sales, 10, 20% off. But these are nice, healthy plants. I mean, look at them all. And again, the problem right now is that not too many of these guys, hardly any in here, are blooming. So as we walk down this row, there is, and I have this is Ports of Paradise. I have a lot of these. These are just nice, vigorous growers. as well. All right, so as we take a look and we walk down this row, I have a few of these, but there are so many of them. And they're Cattleyas that are just in great condition. One of the things I got to show you, it's funny. This is SVO Hybrid Special. So that's Sunset Valley Orchids, and that's Fred Clark, and apparently he's generating so many seedlings that he just shares them. Well, I guess not really share, but he offers them to a number of different growers. All right, so looking at this, one of the things that I actually have this, the Veronapen Nicom, and I've used this in my crosses, and I think I got the plant here. I've seen some of the plants that I purchased from here. This I picked up today just because I really like the color of this plant. So I picked up one of these. There aren't a huge number to pick from, but there's enough. So I grabbed one of these. There's a few others. Let me see. We'll just kind of walk down this row. This is Myrma catavola, and I think this is a pretty Francis Fox. This is a pretty popular plant. We had a couple of Francis Fox that were brought in at my local society meeting. I picked up one of these, a smaller one of these, Santiago Hernandez, and we'll see how that is. I have one of these from a previous purchase. Anyway, I've got a lot of these plants. I just like shopping here because the plants are pretty vigorous, and they do well, at least in my hands. Okay, so that's all I wanted to do in here, just to show you again a sample of all of the different types. Again, mostly Cattleyas, but a real mix of different plants that are in this greenhouse. I think I have this one right here. I think one that was down there I added to my box for today. Anyway, but I mean, the thing is, when you look at these plants, as you get closer to them, and I'm gonna walk down this row just a little bit, but I want to show you, okay, like right here, when we take a look at this plant, and it doesn't matter what this is. The interesting, all right, so you look in the pot, and he's got a combination of, there's leca that's in there, that stuff in the middle, that's fertilizer. Some of the fertilizer that he uses, the time release, is purple, and oh, here, we'll go over to this pot. So there's purple time release fertilizer that is right in the middle of this, but this is it's a really light mix. But what you can see, what I want to show you here, is there's 3 new pseudobulbs coming out of this one plant right here. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3 new pseudobulbs. So it's not, the plant itself is not that big, but look how this thing's growing. And that again is why I like coming here. There's a lot of room to fill in this pot and a lot of these pots, but the vigor of these plants it's just phenomenal. So the plants they just look really nice, and that again, that's why I like coming here. One of my favorites, amazing Thailand. I don't think the one that I have, I bought here. Here, look at this. I don't know if you can see it. See the 2 new pseudobulbs coming out of that pot? There, over there, same thing. Again, these guys know how to grow orchids. So all their plants are just incredibly vigorous and healthy. Okay, what I'm going to do is shut down and then go over to the Vanda House, and we'll take a look at some of the Vandas that are there, because that's really what they're known for here, is the Vandas. I mean, but this is pretty impressive too. Okay, so I'm going to shut it down and go to the Vanda House. Okay, I was on the way to the Vanda House, but then I just couldn't help myself. I'm stopping here. So this is the main entrance to RF Orchids, and as you go by, this is their, you know, over their door you can see it says Our Happy Place. But you know, they bring some of the nice display plants in this reception area. So mostly Vandas, but if you look, there's just a lot of color everywhere. So there's phals over there, which is not really what they do, but they have them, of course. But you know, some of them, they have Vandas here. And again, this is not the Vanda House. This is their main reception area where they bring a lot of these flowering plants. I mean, this one is just, I really like this. Nice fragrance. A lot of the Vandas do have some really nice fragrance, really nice colors, and again, they know how to grow these things like a few others. Taking a look across here, sorry, I don't want to get you dizzy, but again, we have some more Vandas here. Again, these guys know how to do Vandas. I don't even know what these are. Cute, pretty. I think there's an Oncidium. I'm not sure if I'm focused on it yet. Back, where is it? No, that's right there. I gotta see where that's coming from. Okay, but again, they've got there's some other things. There's some Cattleyas back in here. There's another Wulang right there. I don't know if this is an Encyclia right here. So there's just they have a couple of places that are more for display. Some nice dens right here. Looks like some more. There's a lot of Encyclias. Sorry about the backlight, but Encyclias right here. Anyway, okay, so we're going to shut down now and head over now to the Vanda House. Okay. Okay, now we're in the Vanda House. So, look at them. I'm gonna zoom in. These are all Vandas. Left side too. And we're just in one row here. I'm at maximum zoom so you can see all the way down to the end, but let me zoom out. And you probably can't even see to the end of the row. Okay, anyway, this is where all the Vandas are in here. And they just, you know, they're just really, really nice. And the thing is, you know, I'm crazy. It's pretty hot here. And I think it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but not too many folks, as you might imagine, not too many people here because it's pretty toasty. So, you know, if you want to come on a day like today, you'd have this place to yourself like I do, which is kind of nice. But it's also kind of warm. Okay, some more Vandas here. And again, what you can see is all the way down the row, just more Vandas down there. I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to turn around. Sorry, I don't want to get you dizzy. But we're going to head to this next house because this is, there's more Vandas here, but what I wanted to share with you again is one of my favorite things here, the mix and match bare root Vanda seedlings for $8. So you look in these bins and they've got pictures of either the hybrid or the parents that are here, but you can just go through here and and I have these, everything, again, every Vanda that I've bought from these guys, look at those juicy roots. You just mount it, you know, what I do, most people, again, mount their Vandas in baskets like this. I can't get this to work for me. So I just take these Vandas here, and you can mount, I mean, $8, try a few different ways. But I just put these in the trees, just make sure the roots are kind of attached to the trees. But you can see what's going on here is there's a lot of Vandas. The other thing I just got to tell you is that I'm walking through the Vanda House, and on my left here there's more Vandas blooming, and I don't know whether it's the Vandas or the workers in this house, but there's a nice fragrance. So and I think it's coming from the Vandas. Okay, and I've stopped to smell a few of them. Let's go down to the end here. I mean, there's stuff here everywhere. So I was looking on this wall. Look at all these mounts. I was looking on here on this wall, and I can't remember where I was, but I saw some ghost orchid relatives, not real ghost orchids, but a different species mounted. But there's a lot of mounts. I mean, look at all of them. You can't even see. They're everywhere. And so there's a lot to select from. There's a lot of the Vandas here again. I told you they know how to grow cats, but I don't know if you can see the spikes coming out. There's a spike there and a spike there coming out on that Vanda. You go to the next plant over, there's another spike coming out of it. You go to the next plant over, and they're open, so you can kind of see what you're, more or less what you're dealing with. And again, as we move down here, there's another spike right there on this plant. There's spikes on everything, and then again, nice flowers. So this really is a great place to visit for Vandas and Cattleyas, orchids for general. These guys know, they just really know what they're doing, and they're also incredibly helpful. So that's all I have for today. I should mention that I did buy, I got a bunch of orchids waiting for me inside, and I am going to have an unpacking, not an unboxing. I am taking them home in a box, but I'm going to have an unpacking video as a second video where I'm going to go over the orchids that I purchased and try to show you images of the flowers if those are available. So I'll do that as a follow-up. So right now I'm the plant propagator at RF Orchids in Homestead, Florida. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you liked my video and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.